It means a lot every time you come back to Europe and play.
It's one of the greatest tournaments we have in women's golf. To have that in my home country is very, very special.
There's going to be a lot of pressure on home turf. We're going to defend for the third time.
Well, we're definitely going for 3 in a row. I think Europe has a great chemistry.
I still think we have a strong team together.
There's so many different characters on our team. Solheim Cup just brings out the best of me, I think.
It's going to be a good competition no matter what.
Before play begins Friday in Germany, both Solheim Cup teams have ceremonial duties to perform, team photos, meetings, practice sessions, a busy lead up to the biennial matches. Let's hear first from the squad who holds the cup, Team Europe.
Well, you know, it's here and now. It doesn't matter what happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future. We're here with 2015 Solheim Cup in Germany, and just remind them of that, and just to really enjoy this week, enjoy the stage. You know, a few of the girls have not played on home soil yet, and just the excitement of that, of hearing all the fans rooting for you.
Everyone's talking about 3 in a row, which would be absolutely fantastic, and I think the really tough part was to win in 2013 on US soil. So it could definitely be easier with having the home crowd here, but if you look on paper, it looks like the American team is a little bit stronger, so we definitely need to come together again with a great team spirit.
Obviously it's going to be very tough because the US team has great players. I mean, one of the best in the world, and they are all top 50, so it would be very special to win this third one here in Europe.
A ton of talent, Trip, for Team Europe, a ton of motivation. Give me one player who you think's key.
Well, I think you look towards a player with a ton of experience, and I'm going with Suzanne. I mean, Suzanne Pettersson, she's been a stalwart for the European side for a long time, and she's won 19 points for the European side. The last 2, she's been integral in their wins, and who she's partnered with, her intensity can be a huge asset in team events. She can bring players along. She hits a ton of greens, but here's what worries me just a little bit. You can see unusual missed cuts for Suzanne. Normally does not happen. She did play well at the Rico Women's British Open, but you can see pedestrian finishes the last 2, and Evian, a place where she has won before. And I think that's the issue for Suzanne. Sometimes she can burn a little too intense, and you know, Butch Harmon is going to be a wonderful coach for Suzanne going forward, because Butch said, I've got a 3-step rule. Get as angry as you want, but by 3 steps, the anger's gone, and Suzanne can tend to carry that a little more than 3 steps. But we'll see this week. They're going to have the home course advantage, so Suzanne's going to be integral. If they win, it's going to be part of her strength and her carrying this team.
I kind of go for the 3-hole rule, but maybe I should do the 3-step rule. Well, Europe has the momentum because it's going for its first ever 3-peat since the Solheim Cup began in 1990, so a lot of pressure on Team USA this week. The Americans are also hoping to erase the memory of the last time the matches were played in 2013 after suffering their worst defeat ever, an 8-point loss in Colorado. No American has more experience than U.S. captain Julie Inkster, and she's more than ready for the challenge.
Match play is different than medal play. European has won the last 2, and we're on their soil, so my team's going to have to play very well to beat them.
We saw you out on course this morning, a lot of laughs, a lot of smiles going on there. Does that kind of accurately describe what's going on in the locker room right now? Is it relaxed? Is it happy?
Yeah, it's relaxed, it's very happy, you know, but competition hasn't started. I mean, it's a whole new ball game. I think, you know, as we get closer to teeing it up on Friday, girls will get a little bit tighter, but I mean, that's natural. If they didn't, then I'd be worried about them.
As we look at some practice groups for today in Germany and how Julie Inkster decided to break them up, she did, Trip, say that she was eventually going to go in the pod direction like Azinger did, but we'll wait and see how those play out. Right now, these ladies getting used to each other and getting a feel for things and how they stand. All right, we got your European player. Let's get a key for the American side.
Well, I'm going to go with Michelle Wie. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we were worried she might not even play because of the injuries. And if you look at some recent form for Michelle Wie, I think Julie Inkster's smiling a little bit. We saw last week at the Evian, Michelle Wie playing a little bit more like she played on a regular basis last year leading up to the U.S. Open, which, of course, she won. I like the swing. Looks free-flowing again. It doesn't look as mechanical. In fact, she made 17 birdies and a couple of eagles. So that's a fantastic performance for Michelle Wie. Now, Michelle Wie is in a pod, if those are the pods, with Allison Lee, Brittany Lincecum, and Angela Stanford. She can pair well with either of those ladies, and they could be a formidable team, provided Michelle can keep making the birdies. I think she's going in the right direction, and that's got to give Julie Inkster some pause, because that's definitely helping her going forward. Because as I said, just maybe a month ago, we were like, Michelle, we may not even be able to play.
Good to see her healthy,
yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure. Well, maybe their younger counterparts will provide some inspiration. That's because earlier today, the United States captured the Junior Solheim Cup for the first time on European soil with a 13-11 victory. You can see if the United States can get off to a hot start in the Solheim Cup live right here on Golf Channel. The matches begin Friday bright and early at 2 a.m. Eastern.